Ukrainian troops attack Russian mercenaries in face-to-face battle in the town of Bakhmut. The bloody battle for Bakhmut is still ongoing even though progress by Russian forces is slowing. Base think tank said that Russian troops have continued their offensive operations in the Avdiivka area, around 60 miles south of Bakhmut, which is located in the Donetsk oblast in eastern Ukraine, where the pace of Russian offensive operations may have slowed compared to previous days. The ISW's daily update also added that the Ukrainian General Staff has said there were more settlements around the city that have become targets of Russian attacks. This inflection may indicate that the pace of Russian attacks around Bakhmut is slowing, the ISW wrote. This development may back the ISW's prior forecast that the Russian offensive there may be culminating, meaning that an attacking military force can no longer continue its advance. The ISW also referred to a Russian millblogger's claim that Russian troops had taken strongholds near Pitharon, around 3 miles north of the city. Meanwhile, other Russian millbloggers also reported that Ukrainian troops had launched counterattacks to regain positions south and east of Bakhmut, the ISW said. On December 24th, the think tank said that the Wagner Group, whose mercenaries are fighting alongside Russian troops, had suffered heavy losses and likely strained Russian forces' operational capabilities in Bakhmut. The city has been a focal point of the Russian offensive for several months, which Ukraine said has taken a heavy toll on Moscow's forces. Serhiy Haidai, governor of the Russian-occupied Luhansk region, said on Monday that thousands of Russian troops had died in the battle for the city. The ISW's daily assessment comes as British defense officials warned there was a realistic possibility that Russian forces will launch long-range strikes on Ukraine over the New Year period. The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense said on Saturday on Twitter that the strikes over the holiday period, which includes Orthodox Christmas, would be a move to undermine the morale of the Ukrainian population. Meanwhile, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said Saturday that victory for Russia over Ukraine was inevitable in a New Year's video message in which he admitted to a difficult military-political situation. Shoigu has been criticized by millbloggers for Moscow's failures in its invasion of Ukraine. However, he described the selfless courage and heroism of Russian troops fighting what he called neo-Nazism and terrorism. Kyiv and the West have rejected Russia's assertion that it is fighting Nazis in Ukraine, which is the pretext for Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion of the Eastern European country that started in late February. Russia is finding it difficult to combat air threats on its own land as it continues its war with Ukraine, according to the latest British intelligence update. Russia has long given a very high priority to maintaining advanced ground-based air defenses, but it is increasingly clear that it is struggling to counter air threats deep inside Russia, the UK Ministry of Defense said Thursday in an intelligence briefing on Twitter. The ministry referenced the drone attack on Russia's Engels air base on Monday, which Russian authorities said left 3 servicemen dead, blaming Ukraine for the strike.
Ворожої бронетехніки. А тут от
One challenge for Russia is probably the exceptional demand on its fleet of modern, medium-range air defense systems, such as SA-22 Pantsir, which would typically be expected to take a major role in countering UAV unmanned aerial vehicles, the ministry said. The ministry continued, as well as providing point defense for strategic sites such as Engels. These systems are currently required in large number to protect field headquarters near the front line in Ukraine. The Monday attack on the Engels air base was the second one in 3 weeks. The base, over 350 miles from the nearest Ukrainian-controlled territory, is one of the main operating bases of Russia's strategic bomber fleet. Yuri Ignat, spokesman for the Ukrainian Air Force, recently hinted at Kyiv's involvement in the latest attack. Ignat recently told Ukrainian media outlet that these are the consequences of what Russia is doing on our land. If the Russians thought that the war would not affect them deep in the rear, then they were wrong. Such things are happening more and more often, and we hope that it will only benefit Ukraine. Russia launched a barrage of missiles in Ukraine earlier on Thursday, targeting a number of cities, including Kyiv, Lviv, which is near the Poland border, and the southwestern city of Odessa. The Ukrainian military said it shot down 54 missiles out of 69 fired by Russia, according to Reuters. Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov tweeted that the downing of 54 missiles saved the lives of dozens of people and protected key parts of our economic infrastructure. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said 3 people were injured in the strikes. In addition, nearly half of the population in Kyiv experienced a power outage. 40% of the capital's consumers are without electricity after the Russian attack, he added. Senseless barbarism. These are the only words that come to mind seeing Russia launch another missile barrage at peaceful Ukrainian cities ahead of New Year. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba tweeted in reaction to the Russian missile strikes. There can be no neutrality in the face of such mass war crimes. Pretending to be neutral equals taking Russia's side. Though some Western countries' intelligence reportedly indicated that Russia is struggling to fight in Ukraine with a possible decrease in its missile count, Russia's defense ministry said on Thursday that it will never run out of caliber missiles.
Мій досвід